If you've been around a while, you know that I have been working in series this year, and I've been in a still life series, I guess maybe from the beginning of the year, but I'm kind of missing painting people. I went out to the park one day, did some park painting. It's full on spring. I would love to be outdoors more, but my allergies just don't permit that. So I've been thinking, we are in like crazy busy season right now. I'm hoping in the next few months I'll be able to tell you more about that, and you're gonna be like, wow, whoa, you were definitely busy. We've got a ton of rain coming in the next week, so I thought, Sandy, why don't you get together a little on-the-go bag so you can just grab it and go. Hoping in the next week I can get out there a couple of times. And as I was putting some things together, I had an idea. I think you're gonna be blown away with how inspired you're gonna be by this. Okay, so I grabbed this one pan pastel that I bought that's basically Caucasian flesh colorish. And I also bought these, whoa, they're flying everywhere, these little like finger, I don't know why I just said finger, but basically little sponges. It's from the company that makes the pan pastels. I have more of these someplace, but because I've cleaned out the studio, I did a studio tour 2 videos ago. I put a bunch of supplies that I hardly ever use in boxes in a different closet, just so they're not just scattered out and all over the place. But now I'm wishing I had these. So I bought another one. I bought this one, and I had these finger things. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll take this with me to the coffee shops to like get some quick flesh tone, because you can work with watercolor and gouache with this, which is totally fine. But then, do y'all remember I did that video where I did a demo of watercolor sketch with using just my fingers? I started thinking, what if I could use the sponge? The sponge that this company makes is not like a normal makeup sponge. I think I've tried regular sponges, like makeup sponges with these, and this is so different. It picks up the pigment in a whole different way and puts it down in a different way. That's why I wish I had my other ones, because I never loved these, but I think they do kind of attach to the paper a little better. Anyways, I'm getting off on a whole nother subject. Let me stick to the subject. I thought, what if I could use these as my finger so it's not so messy? Because I do like it when I'm out at a coffee shop, but it's very messy. Like I've got paint everywhere, all over my hands. So I thought, yes, let's take these. That will be fun. And then this morning, after getting all my stuff out this morning, I thought, maybe I'll take a few minutes this morning and grab a couple of old sketches that I did on location at a coffee shop and try these things out so I'll know, which was helpful because I narrowed down the brushes, and I decided that I like to have one dry sponge for the pan pastel. And then I'm just really enjoying this because I can have like different colors on each like little point of this. I've just ordered some more because I'm afraid y'all are going to be very inspired and snatch them all up. I've ordered a few different sizes of these because the watercolor is working really nice, and it's weird, it really holds the paint. So then if I'm wanting a more diluted blue, green, or whatever colors on the tip, I can just dip that in the water just like I would a brush. It's keeping me loose. I am like, I'm pretty happy. I hope I haven't bought too many. I think I bought like 2 or 3 more packs of like different sizes and shapes. But I think this will be nice. So basically all I'm adding to my kit, I don't want to take a whole lot out, are like these 3 sponges and this pan pastel. I don't know if this will stay in the kit. What I'm gonna do, I haven't decided if I'm gonna put a piece of paper in between these 2 papers when I close it to see, does this smush over, or just throw caution to the wind and see if it smushes. Because it's just soft pastel, I could just brush it off like if it smushed. So anyways, that's the plan. I'm gonna bring y'all with me on our coffee shop outings. Let's go coffee shop sketching together. I hear from y'all all the time. You're like, oh, I got brave and I went out, or I grabbed somebody and went out, and it's so much fun. It's very, very addicting. I've not been in a while, so I'm hoping to get like 2 coffee shop outings in the next week, because I do feel like you have to kind of get warmed up for it. So the first time you can feel a little nervous, and then the second time you're more used to it. So do encourage that. If you do it, get back out pretty quick, or like if you go out to dinner, take this stuff with you. I do that all the time. Let's go coffee shop sketching together. Hello. It is Monday morning and life has happened. Had all these grand plans for the week and for the weekend. We're gonna get out coffee shopping, minimum 2, did I say coffee shopping? Going to coffee shops to sketch, you know what I meant. Life happened and that did not happen. So, I don't know, it was just 2 things. A very, very, very exhausting weekend. Week. Very exhausting week. By the end of the week, I told Grady, we were just like both spent. I said, I feel like my veins are even tired. It was like a voice. I'm just tired to my inner core. And then also we had like monsoon rains all week and weekend. Like the amount of rain we got, our pond has never overflowed except once, and that was during the big Nashville flood like 15 years ago. It was when we were building this house, and that was the only time our pond kind of overflowed, and it has just been monsoon. So it was kind of like not the kind of weather that we really wanted to like get out in, or like, take your art supplies and go in and out. Anyways. So between the busyness and the monsoon rains, we did not get out to a coffee shop. What I did do though, like each day I kept thinking like, oh no, another day went by and I didn't get to sketch, and I just kept feeling like, oh, I'm gonna get to a coffee shop. What I did do though, I was rearranging some paintings in my studio, and I came across this one painting that inspired this whole wall. But I came across this painting that I did a while back at a park. Maybe it was last summer even. Do I have a date on it? Yes, last summer. I went to the farmer's market and set up and just painted there. And I sat down in like the worst possible spot you could sit in. I thought I picked a good spot, but it was like the thoroughfare. So like tons of people were stopping, kids were, it's just, so then I was feeling like nervous and anxious about it. I don't know about anxious, but nervous, and it was hard to get in the flow. And so when I did this painting, I was kind of like, oh, that didn't go very well. But I think what happened was I was bringing my feelings into this painting. And so like, not quite a year later, but I was like, oh, I love this painting. I was like, that so captures like the busyness of a farmer's market. So then I was like, ooh, it'd be fun to have like a wall with a bunch of my kind of Nashville paintings. And so I pulled out some coffee shops and some park paintings and this whole like little wall. I just thought it could be fun. And some of them were like coffee shop sketches. I was thinking about the coffee shops because that's what I was wanting to do. How that worked out really well for me was that I kept looking all week at this wall and not only longing to get out to coffee shops, but like just enjoying these paintings. I think they're really wonderful paintings and I love the spontaneity of them. So I got out, one day I was like, I'm gonna get out one of my sketchbooks. This is one of my, what is this brand? Oh my goodness. I feel like my brain is still trying to, I love this brand and I've been talking about it for a while. I'll put it up here on the screen because my brain just went. And then I also did a video where I was decorating the sketchbook covers, a bunch of different sketchbooks, but this is one I decorated. So I thought, you know what, let's just pull out all those supplies that I packed in a bag and go coffee shop sketching here in my own studio. Because that's sometimes what you have to do. If you're sick or life happens, blah, blah, blah. So I had those in a perfect spot. I was like, ooh, I didn't realize from this desk, like what a great spot that was. I did a few different sketches from those. And then I also pulled out for the third one, this farmer's market. And I thought it's a whole different format, like the way it lays out in my sketchbook. And so I started working on that too. And that's what I did because life happened. And that's what you just have to do. So you're gonna get more like what is it when you demo something. See a little more of how I work in my sketchbook, and I'll show you that. It's really fun. But I'm gonna just tell you what, these things have been game changers for me. Not only like the PANPASTEL, which I'm gonna have to go find where I've stuffed those others, but they're not smushing over. I'm looking through the sketchbook. At least this one. Of course, it's really light and I'm not putting it on real heavy, but this has been a game changer. I've kept one that's really clean that's just for this, and the other two that are getting quite dirty, but for the watercolor wash. Love it. I feel like where have you been all my life? These are wonderful. I love them. Got some more in my basket in the online store, and when that gets filled up with more stuff, I'll have those. Hopefully they won't get sold out before I need them. But I also thought maybe, Sandy, you shouldn't buy those because it would be nice to see how long these last. I'm really bad about, I don't know if anybody else is like this. If I get an art supply that I really like, I get kind of panicky that then it's gonna run out. And I feel like I need to stock up for like life. And the other day I was gonna buy another pencil, and I was like, I'm pretty sure you literally got enough pencils possibly for life. Don't buy another pencil. Because there were several that y'all were telling me about in, was it the last video? So I've got some in my cart. It was like I'd be in my cart and then I'd put save for later, and then I'd put it back in my cart and I'd just save for later. So who knows? It'll be one of those things when I need just to top off the cart to get free shipping that I'll put a pencil in there probably. So yeah, that's this week. That is life. And that's just how life is sometimes. But I'm always figuring out ways to still integrate painting, which is really wonderful. And it was just such a nice stress reliever to sit in my own home with nobody around at a coffee shop, my own fake coffee shop, where I had people up on the wall basically, and I could stare at them. You know what I mean? I could stare at them and I wouldn't get caught or feel weird. I could just be like, oh, what are your eyes? What are, I could just look. I'm doing that because that's where they are. All the people are on the wall over there. Okay, is this getting weird? This may be getting weird. Oh, I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not. Let me know your thoughts on coffee shop sketching, going out to like a park or something. And I feel like a bunch of y'all have finally started like doing it and getting brave. And yeah, I'll get messages or pictures sometimes and I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Because it is just so fun. It's scary on one hand, but fun and like exhilarating and a little bit of like adrenaline. Maybe I've turned into like an adrenaline junkie. I know Grady's face, as soon as he sees this on the video, he's gonna be like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie at all. In fact, I think I hate adrenaline, but I do like it for like out painting. I'm kind of like, that's my only adventurous, like get brave, go out, bear the crowds, like not bear the crowds, what would that be? Like, anyways.
You spoke my name and life began. Breath filled dust and sand. Felt you in the cool of the night. Saw you in the newly made sky. And you were mine. Take me back to the garden where it all began. Take me back to the garden. We were walking hand in hand. My eyes were filled with wonder. My heart was filled with peace. Lost in the mystery, it's all that I could see. Take me back to the garden and walk with me.
For those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you know, back when I kind of switched from working in my sketchbooks as much to more working on paper, I was a little worried about how that would function for me because I use my sketchbooks so much, flipping through them for inspiration, and then using them to paint from. But I've definitely found that working from my paper has not been an issue at all. I do like being able to just have things that I'm working from. Like let's say I go on a trip and I paint on paper a lot. Even if I sell those paintings on paper, I can always pull those up on my computer and look at the picture that I took of it. And also, I like when I have a bunch of paintings that I'm working from that I can either tape up on the wall as reference or lay around on my floor for reference. And like you're seeing in this example, I've got them up on the wall, and it's just been a really nice way and actually easier, because if I take a sketchbook on a trip with me, then I have to like flip back and forth on the pages, and this way I've got all these pieces, all these different paintings just kind of loose and easier access. And I definitely find that I'm going through the boxes that I store them in to look for things. Often it's because I'm looking for a painting that has sold, and then I come across a painting that feels inspiring. So I've definitely enjoyed this method. I find that I go to my sketchbooks when I'm kind of really low energy, low key, maybe just not feeling it. Maybe I'm going to go to a park and I just don't feel up for, in quotation marks here, a real painting. I just really want all the barriers down. I just want to paint completely for myself. And then I'm also finding that sometimes it's because maybe I'm on a trip or at a family function where I want that painting always for myself. And so I know if it's in my sketchbook, it's not going to be sold. I'm not going to be tempted at all to sell it. It's just going to be there for me. I'm not even sure that you needed that update or wanted that update or even thought about that update, but I was just thinking about that as I was painting in my sketchbook using paintings that were on paper that I used to would have painted just in my sketchbook. I also find that I like the different formats that I can get with loose paper, that I can either go vertical or horizontal, and I'm really stuck kind of with a certain format with a gutter in the middle of that format with the sketchbook. That's another thing. I've really enjoyed not having that gutter to kind of block me or to work over. I just have this boundless surface. I don't know if that's really the correct way to describe that, but you know what I mean.
I saw every shattered pane and every shadow in the waiting and every fear without a name. I saw every crimson tail light flame. And every step beyond the walls, and truth lay in the street forgotten. But I will not leave you lost. Can't you see I've loved you all along? And I will find you. I don't fear the night. And I've stared the darkness in the face, and I know the heavy rain and every sweeping scarlet blade, but they will never close these blazing eyes. I will find you.
Anyways, okay. Maybe we should wrap this up because I think my tired brain is still... We're having a chat with my tired brain, which is probably dangerous. You know what I mean? I hope you've enjoyed the demos. I hope this has inspired you. I hope you have some of these in your drawer or closet that you can go pull out and try with your watercolors. Let me know if you do. And let me know too if there's a shape that you particularly like, because I like this one, but there's one also that's kind of rounded that I've been thinking about. I think it's in my cart. Yeah. All right, maybe next week, I don't know. Life right now feels crazy. I feel like spring and fall always feels crazy. Maybe I'll get out. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep sitting here and painting for my people in my coffee shop on my wall. Who knows? Either way, I will see you back here in 2 weeks.